on yesterday or I guess Friday's homework. What kind of shape is that? It is a parallelogram. Okay. So when we get to the chapter that deals with parallelograms, which is chapter 5 and 6, I believe, we will come and encounter with a lot of stuff like this that ask similar questions. And what will be interesting is that the parallel lines information ends up providing us new knowledge about parallelograms. It provides us new properties and characteristics about parallelograms. Okay, but we need to understand what those lines are saying by themselves first. Okay, so let's just look. The arrows hopefully tell you that the lines are parallel, right? Okay, so what I think is useful is just to start highlighting some parallel lines and a transversal. And it doesn't matter which one it is. I think some people see these things and they see, we got X, W, Y, and V up there, right? And they try to maybe alphabetically say, I've got to find V first, or I got to find W next, or whatever. Don't do that, okay? And throughout the entire course, and really any course beyond this, do not try to find something and then pigeonhole yourself saying, I got to find this first, okay? Because you might not be able to, all right? If we look at the picture here, for instance, maybe I try to find Y first, okay? So I'm just going to highlight some lines that make up Y, okay? So if I highlight that line right there, do you agree that makes up angle Y?
Yeah.
Okay. And that line there also makes it, right?
Yeah.
And then that line there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So my idea is highlight the things that make up these angles. We know those two lines are parallel. There's Y, there's Y. That's all the information I know from this picture. So I get that out of there, get that picture out of there, just showing what I've highlighted. And we do have eventually, if I extend it a little bit, extend it that way, do we have that general image that we know about parallel lines? Yeah. Okay. Now, here's the thing. What kind of angles are what?
Interior.
They're interior, but what's the word that goes? Alternate interior. So they're alternate interior, so they should be what if the lines are parallel? They should be same. They should be congruent angles. But based off that information, are we able to determine what Y is? No. Okay. So that's why I suggest not to try to pigeonhole yourself in to just trying to find that value first, because you got to find other things before you can come up and find Y. Does that make sense? All right. So maybe, I don't know, I've looked at that transversal. Let's still focus on the same set of parallel lines, but let's look now at that transversal. So now maybe you can see that W is there, 19 is there. If I take the picture out, what kind of angles are W and 19 now? Alternate interior. So now I know W is what? 19. Okay. I'm going to take that picture, put it back in. Okay. So W is 19. Say again? V would be 42, but why? Is it because of those parallel lines? All right, we're going to look at that parallel line, that red transversal. Okay, it's blue now. Okay, and now 42 is here, V is there. Now if I remove, now we see 42 and V were alternate interior, right? Okay, so V is 42. Okay. Back. I'm just going to erase everything now. Let's say, let's still look at those parallel lines because those are kind of the only ones left to deal with. Let's see if I can do that. That's 88, right? That's X. Are those alternate interior?
Yes, so that makes it 88.
So X is 88. Okay. Just a quick question here, because this is something people want to do all the time, and I'm not sure why we want to do it. I think it's kind of maybe confusing, and they want to say that. Well, like I said, I don't want to go that route. I don't want to talk about it. Do you see at this angle here is the angle that's made by the transversal and the parallel lines?
Yeah.
A lot of people want to say just that angle is made by the transversal and parallel lines. Okay? So we got to make sure we know the difference. Okay? And that'll come into play a lot this year, and we'll talk about it when we see them again. So now, we still need to find y, right? And everything that we've done so far doesn't get us back to being able to fill anything in for that original picture that we had like that, with y there and y there, right? But can we look at something like this? Can we look at maybe, and it doesn't really matter which ones we look at, but can I look at that parallel line? That parallel line, is that a transversal? Yeah, okay? And we now know that this angle here, angle addition, says that's 19 plus v, right? But v was what? 42. So what's 19 plus 42? What's 20 plus 42? 62, right? So 19 plus 42 would be 61. So that angle is 61. And this angle here is, angle addition says it's y plus 88, right? So now take that picture out. What relationship? Those angles are same side interior. Same side interior should be,
The same.
nope,
180.
180. They should be supplementary. So I'm going to take y plus 88 plus 61
Equal 180.
equals 180. Okay. Do that addition, subtract it over, and now I've got y. Is that something you can do? All right. So make sure that when you try it, and it goes all year long, do not pigeonhole yourself into saying, I've got to do this first. There are things that, yeah, you have to do certain things first. For instance, we had to find t before I could find y, right? Okay. But don't just pick a variable that I can get that right away with just the information I provide. Because a lot of times you're not able to. You got to do a lot. It's not a linear from this point A straight to the answer. You can't get there. You got to go from point A to point B to point C to D and then to the answer. Does that kind of make sense? So it's not always a linear progression. So make sure that we're kind of understanding that and realizing that. Any others on there you guys want to talk about? 17. We're good? Huh? What was y? We'll do that addition. Why not? If you don't feel like doing it, I don't feel like doing it.
Ooh, that's the fun.
Just subtract 61 and the 88 and you got it.
34.
34? Sure? All right.
Now, on the homework, I just noticed, like, when I got it wrong the first time, it was 10 less, so I tried it 10 less, and the next one was right.
Right, okay, so that's the thing. Don't get in the habit of doing that because, I mean, he got the points, and that's the thing that we need to realize as students, is that we're not necessarily